Everybody slam, and then they should just go into a breakdown. Ba-da-dum-dum. Ba-da-dum-dum.
Why do you sing breakdowns like that?
That's the only breakdown that you need. We're going live. We're live.
It's just
with
you
guys.
singing one note. Did it up.
That's one of the craziest, heaviest breakdowns of all time.
Check, check. Yo, I'm on the mic.
Good day.
Check, here I am, yeah.
We say here. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. Every Jackson, yeah.
See, I really wish
Yeah.
Instagram would just step the fuck up and do widescreen.
Little Jackson, dude. You can't have a good view of my shirt.
There you go. That's perfect.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
See if it'll rest here. I got you. Rogue Squad podcast is live. Yeah. Hello. Here we go. I don't have Instagram on my phone anymore.
That's all right.
I was going to say.
I'm not worried about it. Might work.
It looks so crazy if I do this.
I'm going to tilt this a little. There we go. Just back up. There.
Jax.
right.
We're recording the
Good day.
podcast. Travis Dunn's live with us. What's up, bitch?
Travis Dunn. Hey, man. We recording it.
What the hell are you doing right now, man?
Okay, kids.
Let's begin.
There has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
Have you fucking felt it?
Hello, what have we here?
You guys are so funny.
Hello.
Dun, 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 dun.
Holy shit. Thanks,
C3 penis face or R2 dickhead.
Hello there.
It's enough. It's been enough.
What's up,
May the
nerds?
force be with us. Fucking A.
Good day, Galaxy Rogues Watching Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I am Mopar.
I am Commander Cody.
We are back at it finally in the studio. It took us 14 parsecs.
12.
12!
14.
14, you
Yeah, it's been a bit. We recorded on New Year's at your place, kind of haggard. We recorded last week while you were on the road, kind of haggard, and now we're finally back. And then next week we have to record haggard again.
It's true.
Consistency doesn't exist in adult lives. Can't do it.
Wait till we have younglings.
They'll
just
be
sit-
the ones recording.
They'll just be sitting in the back.
They'll be stuck in like a Darth Vader crib in the back. Just like
Stop yelling.
I'll hire a droid to like rock the crib back and forth while you record the podcast.
Yeah. Episode 219 coming at you.
Yeah.
Um,
Would have been really cool if we did 220 yesterday on 2/2/2020,
in 2020, yeah.
but we didn't. So
That takes preparation.
just saying, if we had been more prepped, we could have done that. But here we are.
That's all right.
Travis Dunn says we have to add "I have spoken" to the intro music.
I have spoken.
I agree. That or this is the way,
We suspect.
or that should be the end. I have spoken. I've spoken.
The ability.
Spoken. I have.
Um,
How's life? How you feeling?
it's good. It was nice today. Nice yesterday.
Yeah, surprisingly like 60.
Finally, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's out of the monotony of the overcast skies here, which gets to you. It definitely does.
That's true. I'm a fan of winter, but if there's no snow and it's just gray, it's kind of like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, the bland, very bland.
Good excuses to stay inside and play Skyrim, though.
You said it.
I did. We can't complain about that.
Speaking of video games, Battlefront 2 released BB-8 and BB-90.
I was gonna skip it because I haven't played it yet, so I can't speak about any of it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played it. I just saw some YouTube stuff from Battlefront updates. And it's almost, I'm happy that they're not overly powerful.
They never listen.
The weird thing is he described it as like BB-8 is actually a little more offensive.
Yep.
And BB-90 is a little more defensive.
That's what I heard.
So, yeah, I'm okay with it. And there's like a whip attack from BB-8, and BB-9 has like a spin electrocute attack. But I'm just
It's an interesting
glad.
take, that's for sure.
I'm just glad they're not overpowerful, and their abilities make sense, and their advantages are they're small. It's like the odd job of Battlefront 2. They're hard to hit, man. They're flying around.
Well, along with Yoda as well, yeah.
Yeah. If I have to aim down at you before I shoot,
Yoda's so hard to kill. He's probably the hero that I have the most trouble with. Him or Palpatine?
or Boba. Boba's flying the fuck around. I'm like, just land, dude.
Nah, you just use Finn and use Deadeye, and he's fucking dead.
That's true.
Yeah, I've been playing some heroes, man. I've been liking Battlefront. We talked about it. Co-op's good, but the new heroes, the new reinforcements, the Aerial and the Sith Trooper and the two guys for the Resistance. I can't remember the species names, but
Oh, the fucking bombardment that one guy
yeah,
has?
the orbital
Jesus.
strike or whatever. Yeah, no, all the new reinforcements are good. So I've been having fun. I think the Jet Trooper's my favorite.
Yeah.
Goom,
I actually like
Goom.
the Sith
goom.
the Sith Trooper, the Enforcer.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. They are still missing out on about 50% of decent heroes, but that's for another day.
This reminds me of Beastman and Skeletor.
Beastman, do you? Nope. So I did pose a question that we're going to be getting to a little later, and it was the basis was well, who's stronger, Luke or Leia? Who would make a better Jedi?
Or who could have been stronger.
Who could have
possibly.
been stronger if properly trained throughout their entire lives?
Yeah.
Or we'll try to walk through that here pretty soon. Do you want to start? Oh. We do have a shout out,
I
and
knew you were going to jump into something else. I
and
wasn't even going to bother. It's
Well,
the Mopar
it's
show.
just- I'm planting
it's
the
the
seeds.
Mopar show.
It's the Mopar
I got
catch
a
up.
list here. I got a bunch of things that I've started reading and haven't finished, and I want to talk about all of them.
I did the third installment of the Vader stuff that came out, the comic book. Sorry,
Yeah.
like comics. How do they do it? 8 at a time. So
Well, it's
like,
confusing as fuck because all three of these series are all just named Vader.
yeah.
And they're all by the same author. I'm pretty sure.
Agreed.
So it's so confusing, but
This is the continuation of the one that he fights Jocasta Nu, I believe.
No, I think they started. Well, I don't know what you're reading, but I think they started a fresh Vader series, like the third series that's called Vader. Just started recently.
So I'm discussing others.
Well, I have been mistaken.
It's the continuation of the Jocasta Nu books. I'm sorry, the storyline. See this
Cameron-
one, Darth Vader. So there's 3.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm halfway through like the third quarter of it. I don't even know what the trilogy, the end
Yeah.
of the trilogy there. It's fun, man. This one's on Mon Cala, and it's pretty fucking intense. It's always cool to see Radis and the King that they introduce in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And then what's his face? It's a trap. I can't believe my mind's blank right now.
Ackmiral Adbar.
Ackmiral Adbar. And Radis and all the rest of them. So it's also cool to see like a built-in culture underwater, almost like Gungans, where they might be up on the land a little bit, but the majority of their species and cities are hidden cities.
Tis a hidden city.
So yeah, but it's getting
What
in.
do the Jedi have in their tool belt? Because you would think that they
Shaving
have
cream?
they're prepped for every situation.
Shaving cream.
But literally, Obi-Wan has one of those little hotel bottles of whiskey, and they have those rebreathers so they can swim. That's it.
And a fucking random hook to throw around a pipe in the Death Star.
Yeah. How, while he's falling, how did he get that out of his robes? They're so clunky. Like, how many pockets does he have in there? He's grabbing the wrong thing. He pulls out, like, his dental floss by accident. He's like, oh, shit. I'm dead.
Oh, man.
No, but seriously, how many, like, tools do they have? If they can breathe underwater, they have a rebreather. I feel like they should be able to fucking fly or do whatever the hell they want.
You know, that's kind of the part of
Batman
Star Wars
tools.
I don't like. It's very Batman like, oh, I just have something for that. Let me search through my shit.
They only do it a couple times, though, and it's totally like, what are we going to do at this scene? Oh, he has a grappling hook. Okay.
Why
That
does
works,
he have a
I
grappling
guess, yeah.
hook? First of all, Luke. Why does Luke have a grappling hook? He's not even a Jedi.
He's got the biggest
He's
utility
a
belt
farmer.
out of any of them,
He's
though.
a farmer. Did he bring it from home?
He has to grapple the moisture.
I ordered this from Amazon. I've never needed to use it. Now I understand why I bought it.
Farmers know how to be prepared.
No.
He has everything he needs.
Oh my god.
We have everything we need. Wait, hang on. No, I'm gonna look up Farm Boy Luke. Luke, New Hope, and I'll show our peeps this. But he's got it's not working.
Quick shout before I forget. Happy birthday, Warwick Davis.
Happy birthday, Warwick Davis.
He was
It is your
one of the single highlights of Celebration Orlando.
That's true. He was trying to keep us all from killing ourselves while we
Yeah.
were waiting in line all
We
night.
slept on a basketball court and for all days.
Yeah, look at this savage. He's got the most utility belt out of any of them.
What does he have?
Moisture. Power converters.
There. Oh, this one's.
Evaporators. Looks like he's got an iPhone stuck up here. And his lightsaber. His trusty lightsaber. I don't know. I just
Yeah, I'm over it. It's the Star Wars fanny pack.
It is.
It's a Star Wars fanny pack.
I can't believe they haven't licensed that to some fanny pack company to make it.
What do they pull out of it? Like on screen, he does pull that grappling hook out of it. And I know some of the other Jedi do the rebreathers.
His comm link probably.
Oh yeah, the little button thing. 3PO!
Do the other Jedi. I don't think the other Jedi have.
Jedi smoke pellets.
Do they have whatchamacallits? It's just a belt. It's not a. He doesn't have any little pockets for
Yeah,
it. It's
he
literally
just-
just a belt.
That's enough.
Oh, he's got one right there.
That's enough to house the living force.
That's a toy though. I don't know if that's accurate. Look at his pose here.
Look how confused.
Look at my goddamn robes, bitch.
See how fresh I am?
Freshly clean. Jedi Temple uses
He
that Old
is
Spice.
like look at every single one of these pictures. That's all the same face. Like all the same.
Except for this one.
That's even more so the same face. They just covered it up. Like this is the standard. I am Qui-Gon Jinn, and I am not happy with what you're
I
talking
like this
about.
one. He's just like very upset to be talking to anyone.
Why isn't your mom blowing me right now? That's what he's saying to Anakin right there.
Damn it, Anakin.
Damn it, Anakin.
I thought you'd be used to following orders at this point.
You're not nearly as pretty as your mom.
Well, anyways, I was just trying to see if he had
What?
any.
Kind of.
Wait, where
That's
did
the
that go?
one for the Clone Wars cartoon. He
Can't
looks
tell.
terrible.
Think so?
The animation of Qui-Gon. His forehead goes for like, not that one.
That's
That
the-
one's actually a good one.
That's the Clone Wars one, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's the one that I'm talking about? That he looks ridiculous.
His voice in Rise of Skywalker.
Yep.
All right, it's enough about utility belts.
Yeah.
What else is going on?
Happy birthday, Warwick Davis. He was truly one of the only highlights of that year.
That is accurate.
He really, and he was a great host in our little side viewing of Episode 8's trailer. Very energetic, very knowledgeable because he was making fun of like specific cosplayers and stuff, and he just knew the lore behind them too. So,
He knows everything.
but it's a lot for an actor to do it for that long and still keep up with stuff that happens after he was in the film. So,
Well, he's been in every single one, hasn't he?
1, 2, and 3. Who was he in 1, 2, and 3?
He has a part in all of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, let's do some diggins.
Dig time.
Oh, baby, let's
Warwick Davis in Star Wars.
Do you want to know more?
This is his birthday surprise.
WWW. Wicket W. Warwick. Look at he's a little cute kid.
Somebody also challenged me on trivia. I didn't know that he was like young when he was in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
He
that
was
makes
like
sense.
13 or 15 or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would have assumed he was like at least 20
I want just a list of his. Here we go. So he was Wicket.
in Wicket, and himself in Wicket.
He was
Episode 1.
somebody in
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Tatooine.
No, he was standing next to Watto during the race.
Yep.
Remember when little Annie?
Yep. He was someone in 7. He was someone in Rogue One. Voice in Rebels. Something in Last Jedi. Deleted scene, it says, though. Something in Star Wars. Or something in Solo, sorry. And then Wicket again in 9. He's been in a lot of them.
Oh, that's cool that he was Wicket again.
Everything except for 4 and 5 he's been in.
He was only on screen for 2.5 seconds in 9, but
Well, he was there.
let's see the Wolivian in episode 7. They must have been in the okay.
Something in the cantina, yeah. And if you're watching the stream, you can
Yep.
see Wikipedia's up here on the screen.
Maz's Cantina. Okay. Yeah, they have spots for. I wonder how much he makes for those little spots. That's what he was. That's what he was. That's what he was. Kedpin.
I do like his little character in Rogue One, though. This guy.
Oh yeah,
This guy's sweet. He's a savage.
just a permanent pissed.
There's some other character in Rogue One that I really, really liked. It was some little, tiny little lizard guy that was just like croaking and
The pilot?
fucking blasting people. The pilot.
No, the attacker on the ship when they were on Scarif.
I think so.
They came flying in.
Yeah, I think so. Anyways.
Shinobi is in here.
Happy
he said,
birthday.
"What the fuck is that?" That's what we usually ask you.
That's what half of the Canto Bite sequence is. Like, what the fuck is that?
Why does it happen? Let's look at my list.
I knew you had a list.
I
I
saw.
I prepped the mics, but not the content because I know you have a list.
I saw episode 9 again.
Again, fourth viewing or fifth viewing?
Fourth.
Very nice.
And I almost didn't even pay attention. I was just kind of in my own mind trying to absorb and write stuff down.
Looking for trivia points. Were you?
Well, just small thought. Okay,
Thought-provoking matters.
one of the ones that I'll just get right to. Sidious is talking to Kylo, and he says, "I have been every voice in your head that you've ever heard," or whatever. And he goes through, and he becomes Vader's voice and Snoke's voice and all that.
Yeah.
So, are we assuming that when Kylo is talking to Vader's helmet, that he is only hearing Sidious's voice?
Correct.
What? No. No.
That's what Palpatine said.
No, that's bullshit. No.
You think so?
Sidious doesn't have a connection to the Skywalker bloodline.
All right, well, think about it this way. If Anakin was redeemed and he became a Force ghost on the light side, then his spirit would not still be attached to a dark side piece of him. So Kylo thinks that he's talking to... Because how many people know that?
That's what I mean.
How many, besides Luke and Leia, how many people know that, Vader was redeemed at the very end and, is now a Force ghost? No one knows. They just think Vader is Vader.
And Vader was killed.
So Kylo thinks that his grandfather was a savage, and his bitch-ass uncle Luke killed him on the Death Star.
Yeah,
Actually, no, that's not true.
Well, the other thing...
Is it public knowledge that,
Vader
was redeemed or whatever?
I don't think so. I assume that everybody, if you're just a normal simpleton in the Star Wars universe, you would assume that Vader went down with the Death Star, along with the Emperor.
I was gonna say Shinobi should tell us.
And in fact,
doesn't Rey say in Last Jedi she's like a Jedi who brought him back?
in fact, now that we're talking about it, is Luke famous in the Star Wars universe simply for blowing up the first Death Star? Because the second Death Star, he wasn't the one to actually blow it up. He was actually in a private room with his dad and the Emperor, which I highly doubt anybody actually knew.
Depends on how much he told. But Rey was listing off his accolades as if in school she studied about Luke Skywalker and she had to do a biography report about him.
Well, I guess it's all hearsay. It gets passed down. You hear rumblings and, oh yeah, Luke was there. He killed the Emperor firsthand. It's how do you know? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, think of what the rest of the rebellion was thinking. Luke leaves, everything blows up, and they win, and he just comes strolling back down with the corpse of Darth Vader. They're probably like, oh my God, this dude's a god.
Yeah, I mean, and my assumption, if I was just a simpleton,
It's best not to assume.
which I am pretty closely related to simpletons, I
I
would assume, seeing that with Luke coming down with Vader's suit, I would assume that Luke...
his body, too, not
Luke-
just the suit. He didn't strip him naked and,
just a
steal
nude.
his clothes.
I would assume that Luke killed the Emperor, and depending on if I knew, if there was rumblings that Vader was his dad, if that was known knowledge at some
point of view.
I don't know.
I was watching the
Gina
original-
Carano's ass is astounding. That's one of the best things that Disney has done.
Is there a Wikipedia article about her ass?
Can we do this?
Cara Dune's booty.
Cara Dune.
I was watching the original trilogy, and I was just in the background while I was working, and I was laughing at how long Obi-Wan stands like this. Wait, Luke, I beg of you. He just stands there. He does all of his on-screen lines in Empire are delivered with his hands up like this. Don't go, Luke. They're just fucking up forever. It's cracking up. He looks like a goofball in that one.
Can you be drunk as a Force ghost?
I'm gonna do that the rest of the thing.
That's my true.
Don't drink, Mopa.
That's my true question. Can you be drunk? I'm just buzzed.
You either don't get drunk at all or you get drunk way faster. It's one or the other.
My force power alcohol content is at a maximum. Don't go.
Just gestures. You're probably so tired that. George, how long do I have to keep my fucking hands up?
Can you hire someone to hold my hands up?
Oh, shut up, Alec. You're a trained actor. You can handle it. All right, what's else on your list?
Hey, I did have a general question.
So it's kind of hard after a while.
So the Sith Wayfinders,
Yes.
there's 2 of them.
Yes.
One's on the
Vader's
Death.
castle and one's on with Palpatine. Yeah.
Are we assuming that Vader has been to Exegol?
Probably not, but he had it as like a backup plan. Is what I would assume. I feel like Exegol is. Palpatine was probably there to set things up, but I think that was like his fallback point.
I would assume that.
I don't think he was
Sidious-
rolling in there for business every week.
I think Sidious was hiding Exegol from Vader and didn't even tell him what the Wayfinder truly was or something like that. I want to say, okay, Travis Son, I want to say there was something about when Leia was trying to rebuild the Republic that one of her opponents released to the public that she was a child of Vader. Actually, in the Princess
Bloodlines.
Leia, yeah, that's it, Bloodlines. In the Bloodlines, yeah, it was released to taint her political standing.
Why are you talking about Leia's taint?
What else are we going to talk about? Gina Carano's butt cheeks and the taint that below.
I was going to look up Exegol. And
Is that the loom? So we're talking about Fruit of the Loom. Is that the...
Loom is a upgrade in Age of Empires.
That's like the fleshy fun bridge?
You've been playing
Cards
Cards Against Humanity.
That's where God sews you together.
I'm looking.
that little bit. Remember that?
That's enough.
Gina Carano's
That's where all the midichlorians are stored.
living force.
All right. I'm trying to look up if there's any articles about Exegol on this book.
What else would the loom be? Fruit of the Loom?
Here's Exegol. I'm going to read. You keep talking about looms.
Shinobi here says Sidious hid a lot from Vader. Yeah, I would assume so, because if you're not going to hide it from him, you got to... Dude, I would be terrified of Vader. I wonder if Sidious himself thought Anakin to be the chosen one from a certain point of view. That if he didn't keep information from Vader, that he was just going to lose control because it's Vader. So you have the only thing you have over Vader is history and
Science?
Yep,
Math?
science. He probably knows how to count.
English?
He's got a little scientific calculator built in.
What do they call English class in Star Wars? It's just called basic?
Are you going to basic class today?
Twi'leki as a first language?
Yeah.
It says Exegol was like a readout, which I actually don't know how to pronounce that. I think that people think that's Dengar. What does readout mean? Or redoubt? I don't know how you pronounce it. Redoubt, a temporary supplementary fortification. Yeah, it says it's a Sith redoubt, so I think it's like backup plan. If we all die or we almost die, we're going to Exegol.
But it's a hidden Sith.
'Tis a hidden planet.
Yeah.
The question is
Is
how long? Because we see that giant audience chamber and everything. Like there's so many people in that Sith group on the planet. So how have they been there the whole time? And Palpatine like goes back, a couple times a year for like quarterly reports or whatever. He has to answer to the board. They're like, profits are down in the Empire, Palpatine. You got to figure this shit out.
Trust me.
We're gonna find a new apprentice.
Trust me, our investment in
one far younger
in a Snoke. Snoke's gonna work out, guys.
Man, you've dropped billions in this Snoke project.
Yeah. Let me ask you.
I'm ready.
Why didn't Sidious want to kill Kylo? And become Kylo Ren?
He did. We talked about that in the last episode.
Why didn't he do it though?
I don't know exactly why. I was theorizing that until he even realized that he had a granddaughter, that he was after Kylo, because Snoke's whole purpose was to like breed Kylo to take control of the Sith. So Snoke was supposed to get him up to a certain point, make sure he was strong enough, and then he was going to cut Palpatine down, and Palpatine was going to.
Then he was gonna.
That's a verb. It's a verb.
Do you think they played
That's what I was assuming, at least.
Do you think they played out? 'Cause, like, in the original trilogy, we only see Luke with a lightsaber. Everybody always wondered, okay, well, if Leia's his sister, she should probably have a lightsaber and be trained as a Jedi, but we never see that on screen. Do you think they played a little bit of that out through Rey? Let's give her a lightsaber. Let's train her. Let's make her a little more pure rather than... You know, I'm just thinking, like, just tying it all together, because I've always been interested in Leia having a lightsaber and being trained as a Jedi, and we never really truly see that play out. The most we see is in Episode 9, where she actually has a lightsaber.
I actually really enjoy the idea of there being a Jedi who doesn't use a lightsaber.
Yeah.
And I know it's fucking cool to see Yoda fight, but I always kind of thought that's what Yoda was going to be. Like, Yoda leads the Jedi Council, but he doesn't actually go into combat. Like, he has other strengths. He doesn't need to fight.
Wouldn't that have been cool to act like when we first see Yoda in battle in Episode 2? He doesn't use a lightsaber. Like he there's ways to not fight. Like you can't attack me. I'm small and I'm agile, and you force lightning. I'm just gonna either block it, absorb it, push it away.
Well, they start with that.
Yeah,
but it's obvious that their skills cannot be compared.
But Yoda answers the battle with a lightsaber. He literally could just be like, you're not going to fucking kill me. You can't hit me. I'm just going to flip around until you, or push you, or hold you, or run away. Or,
well, think about,
I don't know.
Think about Dooku's line there, too. I mean, it's obvious that this contest cannot be decided by our knowledge of the Force, but our skills of the lightsaber.
I've always hated
It's a
that
goofy line, but, like, they can zap each other with Force lightning and, retract it and send it back or whatever all day. But, like, the lightsaber is the true test.
Isn't that crazy how cocky Dooku is there? Talking to Master Yoda, who he revered in the Dooku book.
Yeah, Dooku's the best swordsman in the galaxy. He doesn't give a fuck.
But I would never talk shit to Yoda.
He's sick of the Jedi shit. He doesn't give a damn.
Do you think he truly thought that Yoda was his equal at that point? I mean, Dooku's been around for a long time, and he's been a master in the Jedi Order for, let's call it like 20, 25 years before we see him in 3 or 2. Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, how equal did Dooku actually think he was? Or did he want to actually just talk shit because he's a Sith? And
Sith, that's what they do, talk shit. That's one of the first powers they learn.
Just number one
when
is...
they come to the dark side.
Number one is the cackle.
Yeah, all right, first class is shit talking 101 you got to take.
Believe it all.
Darth Maul failed that one. That's why he doesn't talk. I don't know. I think Dooku probably could have. I guess if we go off of what we see in the movie, they're at least equal. Because he has to, like, escape the fight.
From a certain point of view.
You know?
I mean,
he wasn't beaten.
You know, that's the one time.
But they were at a draw, and he, like, threw the...
That's the one time in all of Star Wars that someone puts Obi-Wan in his place.
He does it twice.
Yes, he does.
It's because Dooku's a badass.
Dooku was his master's master. Like, what the fuck are you trying to happen?
I know, exactly.
It's like trying to fight your grandpa, but your grandpa's Dooku.
Like if your grandpa was like a sailor or something. It's like he'll kick your ass.
I beat your dad's ass. You're not gonna be anything, dude. What are you doing? I'll beat you up with your dad. Like, beat the shit out you. You ain't happening today.
Yeah. I don't know. I like
Grandpa talks a lot of shit too, doesn't he?
Grandpa's pissed. I like Dooku a lot. I'm always going to have Dooku's back. He's one of my faves. But yes, I think he could have beaten Yoda if he had more time.
He's a weird plot point.
He was just late for his appointment with Palpatine. He had to go. He can't be tardy in front of the Dark Lord. It was also interesting how much info he dishes out while Obi-Wan is locked up in that thing.
Obi-Wan, this is the plot for the next 3 movies.
Here's the entire plot. Here's the entire script. No, I don't believe you.
No, this looks edited.
I'm too drunk to read this.
Heavily edited. Can you sedate me a little
more?
There
were reshoots. I don't believe it.
There was more than one director. Shinobi said, in Legends, Yoda once defeated and disarmed 3 Jedi Council members at once. Yoda was more of a beast than most people thought. That's what I'm like. There has to be different levels. Like, even if you look at the Jedi Council, clearly Mace, Yoda, and I'll say it, I think Obi-Wan is probably one of the top 3 from a certain point of view. I don't think he's the strongest Force user. But to go out and fucking single-handedly kill Grievous from everything we know about Grievous,
yeah,
dude, that's psychotic. And Maul.
Everything we used to know about Grievous.
And Maul. Like, if you need someone killed, send him, besides Dooku.
Yoda. There's also something to be said that Yoda has 900 years of not dying at his back. Like, regardless of how
small.
skilled he is with a lightsaber in like one-on-one, just strict combat, he's just seen it all. You know what I mean?
He's
been around
elusive.
the block. He knows.
He's got a lot of HP. He's elusive.
He's got high wisdom,
High wisdom.
intelligence, high intelligence.
You don't want to fight me. You look like a douchebag. Oh, you're right. My collar's popped and everything. You're really right, Master Yoda. Oh, man. No, well, I'm just adding to my own fucking thing.
Headcanon.
Maul. Grievous.
Yes.
Fucking pre-suited Darth Vader. Cut them all up. I have one lightsaber and I'm drunk. That's what Obi-Wan's advantages are.
It's this whole thing. Yeah.
Even when he gets zapped, he's like, I'm too drunk to even feel that.
Yeah, you can't. It's like the drunken master fighting style. Like, you can't predict what he's gonna do. He's all over the place.
Just get a real bad stench of his breath. He goes, just like, Jesus, dude, can we fight outside?
Switch to malt liquor. Jesus.
He's doing shots mid battle. Hold on.
I don't know. I love Obi-Wan, but I don't know if he's. I feel like he was always the most well-rounded Jedi. Like, he was wise. He was good at combat. He was defensive. He knew the Force, but he was never like a savage in one specific method. You know, like Qui-Gon was always super, super wise. Probably not that great at fighting.
Yeah. Well, he's old.
Mace was always a savage at fighting, but just pissed and like had no input on things. Anakin was amazing at everything. Obi-Wan was just always well-rounded.
I don't know. What I mean.
He kicks my ass at Battlefront, if that means anything.
Yeah.
I hate him.
What does it take to become a grandmaster?
You have to
And
be really old.
who? Never mind.
Yeah, how many other grandmasters
That's
are there,
my
and
question.
how old are they?
Is Mace a grandmaster?
Like, did anybody hit like it's like 10th degree black belt? Like, did anybody hit grandmaster before they were 100 years old?
Google it. See if there's what's the list of grandmasters. Yoda's the only one I've ever heard.
Luke in Legends.
Is that a drunk young Obi-Wan? Oh, that's Luke.
That's Luke. That's from that chronology book that we used to gawk over in high school.
High Council, Galactic Republic, blah, blah, blah.
So he's the head of the entire order. So there's only one at a time.
Oh, they have notable individuals here.
Nice.
But
Bunch of names I can't pronounce.
and not even. Oh, there is one Yoda.
Nomi Sunrider.
Zim.
Satel Shan.
Satel Shan. That's
Isn't
from,
that from KOTOR 2, right?
I thought that was from Knights of the Old Republic, the MMO.
Oh, that might be it. Yoda, Luke Skywalker, Legends. Kent Hammer. It's Kent Hamner, but still,
I can't hammer it.
Kenny Hammers.
So and this is even in Legends. And Legends is so expansive, and we're still saying what there's maybe 10.
Well, these are just notable ones.
Yeah, that's true.
I think there always has to be at least one. I think it's whoever's in charge of the order. Yeah.
Thank you, SWOTOR. So yeah, I mean, notable would be Luke and Yoda. Wow.
That's Chick's a Grandmaster.
So we're I knew it. Oh, Jesus. With those spectacles, she has plus 10 agility.
plus 10 dexterity. I always laugh now. I forget who pointed this out, but in Empire, when Han's working on the Falcon and he looks up and he has those goggles on, all I can think of is KOTOR attachments.
Oh,
Different visors and goggles and everything. Trying to wonder how much he's got like plus 10 to repair skill while he's working on the Falcon.
Plus 5 sobriety. Jesus. It's interesting to know that Yoda was truly the only Grandmaster that they're considering rank-wise Mace to be under him.
Well, they haven't written any other ones. Canon's still kind of fresh.
Does it bother you that Lando doesn't ask about Han in Episode 9? He sees Chewie and's happy about it, but he doesn't ask about Han. He even asks about Princess Leia. Send her my love. You should do that yourself, bitch. You're right!
You should give it to her yourself.
You should,
You damn straight.
you should deliver it in a box.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Everybody always had issues with Luke not crying about it.
I mean, he mentions it.
Yeah.
And I feel like you can
Where's
tell.
Han?
I don't think that scene of him just staring at his counter, we didn't need
crying.
that. You know, we didn't need that in there.
No, I agree.
But yeah, as far as Lando, I don't know.
And one of the my favorite parts or quotes. It's so slight, but it means so much in the grand scheme of the movies. Is never underestimate a droid. Because those really they are the pinnacle. They are the characters walking through all of these eras that don't really have. You know, the other thing, and
So they save everyone's ass all the time.
yeah,
Star Wars wouldn't have happened if R2 hadn't skated out on Padme's ship and fucking fixed it. They would have gotten blown up right there. Padme's gone. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are gone. No one finds Anakin. Star Wars is dead.
it is. They're like innocent bystanders that. Do you think the Force is fake and it's all just droids? It's the will of the droids. Oh, let me ask you this though, because in episode 9, this is the first time I ever see them actually consult a droid and ask him, because they asked C-3PO, "Do you think it's going to be worth it to wipe your own mind?" Blah blah blah, and they actually leave it up to him. They don't even make a decision.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that they would actually leave it up to a droid, and he's making a decision. Like, you're asking him as a person with personality, you know, someone who has been there and done that, not just a droid. It gives him so much more character depth to be like, do you think it's worth it, dude? You know the odds better than all of us, but it's up to your personal preference, whatever the fuck is built into your dusty wires.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about it. That's all I have to say about it.
You know, it's the smallest little thing, but
it does add
they
a
don't.
lot.
They
I
don't.
like that.
They don't ever ask any other droid. They always yell, "Do this! Fucking stop the Crusher thing! Stop killing me!" or do all of it.
Well, they do that to 3PO as well until that moment pops up.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a nice touch.
Whenever I thought he was a little too much in 9, I was rewatching Empire and I was like, oh yeah, he doesn't shut up the entire movie.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's, out of nowhere that he's going crazy in Rise of Skywalker.
How do you? I know we touched upon it last episode, but how do you feel about Finn being Force sensitive?
I like it.
Why do you think Rey can't feel him?
What do you mean?
Rey can't sense Finn
When? Like ever?
when they're eating dinner. I don't fucking care when.
I didn't know when you were talking about because I was going to say at the beginning, well, she doesn't even know that she has powers. So she doesn't get that. And she's with him all the time. So she's like, he's right there. I can sense him with my eyes.
Yeah,
I see him. There's Finn.
that is one
I
sense.
sense you.
We have up to 5 senses.
I mean, it doesn't really pop up until something bad happens or something like major happens.
I care.
Like he's not sitting there like, oh, Rey's getting off the ship right now. Like nothing really pops into his head until she dies.
Yeah, that's true. I just thought, Force sensitives should be able to sense other Force sensitives. It's kind of like that's the most natural sense of, like, it's a feeling. They even get down to that in episode 9. They say it multiple times. I just have a feeling that it's that ship.
Yeah, but
You
I
gotta
feel
blow
like
that
your
ship.
brain wouldn't shut off if you could just sense everybody that was Force sensitive. Be like
It's got to be a limit.
Professor X when the thing goes haywire.
No, it's like a
and he senses every mutant all at once and his brain explodes.
Nope, it's got to be at least like a 2-mile limit. You can't just sense
Until
it
you
all.
level up and then you get a 2.5-mile radius. And
Well, yeah. And it's all
Star Wars is not like a video game.
It's all relationship based though, because they can all feel Leia pass away. She.
That's what I mean. They feel it. I guess if they sat there and meditated and thought, yes, I'm sure she could reach out and feel what Finn was doing, but it doesn't like pop up out of nowhere unless it's something drastic, like they die.
I just thought if he did know that he was Force sensitive, and obviously he can't. Maybe he's not that strong, and it is just a feeling that he gets, but it is right a lot of the times. Why did they need the tracker in episode 8? Like, if they could sense each other, I don't know. That's just general questions. Like, how in depth or how Force sensitive is Finn? Was he chosen because he was Force sensitive, and does that suggest that all the other stormtroopers at least have a smidgen in the first
Also,
order?
remember, episode 8 was just like a day or two after 7, so like he's just becoming a not stormtrooper and like getting the feel for things. It's not like he can sense Rey from across the galaxy right away. And same with Rey. I mean, she still has. There's so many things you can do with the Force. Like you can't just do all of them a little bit at once. you gradually like pick up new powers.
Yeah, and Shinobi says force sensitive, sensing other force sensitives takes attunement and understanding of the force to a certain degree.
Unless you're related, and then or very compassionate about somebody, and then
Or
all
maybe-
of a sudden it pops up.
There's different like flavors of the force.
I
You know what I'm saying?
I know
Like
what
if
you're
you
saying.
if you're
I know what you're saying.
What am I saying? Is that what he said? Well, no, and I get that. Like if you're trying to sense the force on someone because they jump real high, like that you thought they. No, like a forced jump, or like
Just like, why would that be the event that trick? Oh, fuck it, he got 36 inches this time.
I mean, I assume that LeBron James is force sensitive. See how high he flies?
Finn just did a slam dunk on next goal. I can feel it.
Oh my god!
Like, why is that the moment that you can feel things?
Yeah,
But then Finn's dead. I didn't sense that one.
my personal favorite flavor is Rocky Road Force. Some of the dark chocolate peppermint.
From where?
From Mexico. I can't do
You
it.
talking about ice cream?
No.
What brand?
I hate it. Yeah.
Ice cream sounds kind of good, actually.
Yeah, I've been on the Menchie's, that frozen yogurt in Gahanna. Woo.
Oh, yeah, I haven't had that shit in a long
So it's kind of
time.
like a serve yourself, and you get to add whatever toppings you want.
I am kind of loopy because I haven't eaten it in a very long time.
I can sense
So
it.
you mentioned ice cream, and that's all I can think of.
32 flavors. Isn't that Dr. Pepper? Isn't that 32 spices?
Is it 32 flavors? That's how they that was their advertising schemes for a while, right?
How many flavors are in Dr. Pepper?
It's a song.
32 flavors of it.
Dr. Pepper. 23. You had it backwards.
Oh, 23 cousins.
LeBron James
32
flavors.
happens.
Holy shit, there's a lot of. I didn't know they actually had this documented. I thought they were just
Oh, here we go. Amarillo, licorice,
advertising
cherry,
shit.
birch, juniper, ash, piss, nutmeg,
And the Force.
and a bit of it. Indoor dandruff, lemon.
Whoa. Dr. Pepper can be served hot as a wintertime drink
How
with
weird.
a lemon. What?
We're trying that.
You know what I was craving the other day while I was playing Skyrim? Is some fucking mead.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did
Been
you
a
do
while
it?
since I had. No, I didn't. But I was craving some.
I don't have the
I
ability.
had Dr. Pepper instead. 23 flavors.
Yeah, I think mead is one of the flavors in Dr. Pepper.
Or is it Dr. Pepper is one of the flavors in mead?
I have a feeling.
Dr. Pepper's been around since the Middle Ages.
Do you like Star Wars?
Most of the time, yeah. I feel myself starting to get burnt out a little bit. I'm waiting for them. Well, we got Clone Wars coming up in a couple weeks, so maybe I'll just wait until then. But so much nonsense. Like, I can only take so much fan argument for so long before I start to get annoyed. So, like,
Yeah.
Rise of Skywalker, I loved, but yeah, the conversation just gets exhausting after a while. And then I've been playing Skyrim, so I'm a little more in fantasy realm. So I'm stepping back slightly. But yeah, I do need to watch. I have a list of some select Clone Wars episodes I do need to watch
I
to prep.
Rewatched the last one of the one where Ahsoka walks away. Whew, it's a heavy one.
Yeah.
I watched like the last 3 of them, the last 3 episodes of that season, leading up to that trial, and she's like, "Fuck you guys."
You all suck.
And it's pretty heavy at the end when Anakin runs out and says, "Trust me, I know." Thinking about leaving the Order, I'm like, "Fuck, Anna, you're getting pretty deep too."
Well, that sets you up for episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how far they're gonna go in season 7. Like, how close to the movie is it gonna get? That's the thing I'm most curious about. Is like, what happens to Ahsoka between 3 and Rebels? Because we know she's back. So, like, when Anakin goes to the dark side and Order 66 is happening, like, are we going to see Ahsoka get attacked by clones?
That's what happened. Yeah, I mean that's what the Ahsoka book is.
Oh.
Yeah, she's hiding. She's kind of on a planet by herself, hiding, and she was living, and then the Imperial presence gets heavier and heavier, and it's long and short of it. She gets forced back into it. She
It's after
has
Order
to.
66, though.
Yes.
The book is. Okay.
Yeah, but she's hiding. She hasn't got to the rebels or the rebellion yet. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because that's what they describe how she gets her 2 white lightsabers. She actually heals those crystals so they're no longer red. That's one of the coolest things. That's probably one of the only reasons I would read that book is for those 4 sentences that say. It's not a bad book.
Get on Wikipedia.
It's not a bad book. It's just very young adult.
Yeah, some of them you can't tell. Some of them you can. I know what you mean.
When there's emojis in the print, you're like,
the entire book is just a Tumblr post.
I'm not even old enough to understand what you just said.
I've never been on Tumblr, but I saw it in a meme, so I thought I could use it as a reference.
Some of our younger listeners might have.
All our 13-year-old listeners.
So if Rey's father is the son of Palpatine, who was her mother?
That's the question, isn't it? I don't know if they're ever going to explain it. How do you sensitively talk about that information? Because you have to talk about who Palpatine banged. Unless he force birthed somebody else, just like Anakin.
Well,
which I think they kind of said is he said that to Anakin to fuck with him, but it isn't actually true.
Would you be mad if there was no intercourse?
There was no intercourse.
No, but if it was like a clone of himself, but maybe the Force was like, you can't have 2 Palpatines. You're so evil that it kind of tried to correct itself, and which sparked Rey, which was his ultimate undoing.
I would have really
Man,
loved.
I haven't even thought of that. Sorry,
it's okay.
That him spawning whatever which way you want to look at it, whether it was the Dick and the P, the V and the G. That his plans, I don't even know what was right. I'm just it's all a big
It's
loop.
confusing because you have to picture Palpatine having kids. It just throws a wrench in everything.
Well, regardless, he does have kids, and his granddaughter was his undoing. Almost the same way that Luke was his dad's undoing, in a good way, redemption. So it was like his own bloodline came back to bite him in the ass.
Yes, I know where you're going with this. And what I was going to say is what I would have preferred is that Rey was Immaculate Conception just like Anakin was.
No.
That's what I was hoping was going to happen.
Rey's dad was Immaculate Conception.
I know that's what you're saying. I guess having that extra generation in the mix just kind of, it's like, why?
Speculation was the woman that was beside him
Yeah.
when he created the Galactic Empire.
Yeah.
Oh, when he's standing in the...
Yeah, the chick with the fucking ice robes. Mr. Freeze's wife.
Oh, Cindy? Cindy Freeze?
Shut up.
All right.
Hang on, I gotta find a picture of him in the Senate
This
chambers.
fucking goofy laugh. Whoa. Man, one of my favorite decisions
This
ever.
chick.
That's who he was banging.
She's looking at him like, what are you gonna do later?
What do you... I think he's coming in that picture, actually. This
And
is...
Masamet is just trying to look away, just like, what the fuck?
Why is the Emperor's dick out?
That's the only way you can institute a new order.
The seat's now mine, bitch.
You gotta prove that you're fucking serious.
In Legends, they did have a kid named Ken.
I really hope Rey's dad is named Ken.
Kenneth Palpatine. please.
Ken and Barbie Palpatine.
Ken and Barbie. Kenneth.
Kenneth Chambers.
What's the most evil name? Kenneth. An evil petting zoo?
That is an interesting face.
I didn't even want to put a gender to it. Or them. They. Is
Maybe people thinking that they banged are the wrong ones by thinking that there's a gender
maybe
to that.
Maybe Mazameta
It
is
was definitely him and Mazameta, yes.
he's pretty badass.
What if it just said on Star Wars Databank?
Oh, nah.
Mazameta was the bastard father of Palpatine's offspring spawn.
Oh, she's not human either. Maybe that's a good point out there, Shinobes. She is not human. She's Snoke species. Maybe that's her. That's where he went. This is his dating profile. That is clearly his dating profile. Long walks on a beach that I own because I'm the Senate.
Swipe right on me. I beg you.
Yes. Loves power and diplomacy.
Can we please make like a Star Wars Tinder? Just like those brief one lines. Is the Senate?
Is the Senate.
They're just occupations, Senate. That's good
Oh
stuff.
my god. Hobbies, electrical engineering.
Galactic domination.
Galactic. Oh, shits. Well, let's see here. Oh, did you notice that Poe, when they were flying around on Exegol, said, "Who's that flyer?" I almost threw up. He doesn't say pilot. He says fucking flyer.
That's what Solo did. He established that in
it was
canon.
Zori, who also is one of the coolest side characters.
Yeah, Zori is awesome. And that Y-Wing that she's in is awesome too, but she's not a flyer. She's a pilot.
Hey!
Babu Freak's the best. Do you say Babu Freak or Babu Frick?
I say Babu Freak, like he's a freak.
He's a fucking freak nasty.
He is.
What do you think he does with those droids after he deactivates them? Jesus.
Blank blank.
They don't remember a fucking thing.
He wasn't saying that it was going blank. He was actually cussing, and that's the way they could blank blank.
Blank blank?
I'm gonna blank blank him. What?
Shooting
Blank.
Shooting blank blanks.
I'm shooting blank blanks. Oh my dear God.
Babu Freak is the ultimate roofie.
Maz. The ultimate droid roofie.
Yeah, he just erases their memory. He doesn't want to remember that. Okay, what were you going to, Moss?
One of the most perfect send-offs was Maz saying goodbye, dear princess. Man, that hit me hard the last time I saw it. I was like,
She had some good lines. I really just wish at the end of the day that she had more to do in the sequel trilogy altogether. Like, what she did in 9 was fine. It didn't feel like they threw her in at the last second, but I feel like she still could have done more. Because they set her up like she knows about the Force. She's seen Jedi and Sith. She's 1,000 years old. She's seen it all. She's been around the galaxy. And I feel like she just didn't have much knowledge to drop after Episode 7.
it's like she's not a part of the Resistance, but as much so she is. Like, she's trying to like play. I own a bar, but my bar got blown up, so I might as well help you guys. So it's like, I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't know what to feel.
Well, she's a good person. And I'm
Yeah.
sure she feels for Leia in the whole situation. And the First Order blew up her fucking castle that she's owned for how long? So yeah, she's pissed.
I can pleasure you in ways that many would consider unnatural.
Unnatural.
Like a dildo.
Technically, that is unnatural.
Sith sabers of delight. Palpy actually specifically says, which I thought was interesting, that the Princess of Alderaan has disrupted my plans. I thought that was very unique because we don't ever hear Palpy address Leia ever in the rest of all of it.
Princess Leia.
Not a single moment.
That is interesting.
And the fact that he called her the Princess of Alderaan instead of like...
Yeah, the fact that he said that. It's like
That-
the Scooby-Doo villain just getting mad at the kids fucking up their plans.
Yeah.
Would have gotten away with that if it wasn't for that Princess of Alderaan.
Yeah. Because Alderaan hasn't been a thing for, 50 fucking years.
Yeah, but people still refer to her as the
And
princess.
and they don't...
Today she's royalty.
Well, and he's so old that he would originally have known her as the Princess of Alderaan, not General Organa or even Leia Skywalker or, whatever you want to fucking call her. The princess, I just thought it was weird that he addressed her like that, and the fact that he did address her.
And not like General Organa.
Yeah, I don't know what else he would have called her. I think Princess of Alderaan makes a lot of sense, like I said, but
They both make sense.
I thought it was interesting.
That was an interesting point.
What was that savage dude that actually killed Hux?
General Pride.
Pride, and he said that he served him in the old wars.
Yeah, so he's part of the rebellion against the Empire. Or
No,
the opposite of that, whatever.
he was part of the Empire.
Part of the rebellion as a conflict is what I meant to say.
Wait, what?
The rebellion.
Part of the rebellion as a conflict. Yes, I got you. I thought that was interesting that they're trying to tie stuff together that he has been around for that long.
Yeah.
And did you see his like milky eyes, like he was under control somewhat? I thought that was interesting.
That I love that. I kind of wish Hux like switched sides and like went with them, but I like that Pride killed him, and then you find out shortly after that he's like with Palpatine. Like Kylo Ren is just this crazy kid who happens to be in control, and I'm not going to piss him off, but Palpatine is the dude. That's who I'm paying attention to.
Mm-hmm.
I thought there was a whole thing in here about that dude.
How did you feel about Luke and Leia knowing Rey was a Palpatine? That's pretty crazy that they would admit that.
Because you're a Palpatine. There he is in all his savagery.
Oh, it's Pride with a Y, of course.
He's prideful about his heritage with Palpatine.
I pronounce it Preed. Military tradition. Homeworld. He's from Alaska.
Also can. Such a weird name. They just took Alaskan and switched the 2 letters. Jesus.
It does. It only says. Oh, right here. Personally witnessed Darth Vader in action. So he's been around for a minute.
Yeah. 40. Oh, see, the whole timeline thing is just.
Oh, they threw it all fucking off.
It's
Yeah.
hard to remember. Yeah.
Oh, good point, Travis Dunn. He said calling her the Princess of Alderaan is probably a diss against Leia since it doesn't exist anymore. And
Oh, yeah.
and
Wow.
also not acknowledging that she's a general. Like, she would never make it in my fucking army. She's just a simple princess that we blew up her goddamn planet.
Really acknowledging that the enemy isn't even like a fleet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Let's
Sorry.
get into this discussion since we're right on that borderline there. So I posed a question on Instagram, and let's see where it's sitting right now. Luke and Leia, since they're twins of Darth Vader, and Padme, obviously, you would assume that in some sense they are both very strong in the Force. And we're sitting at, so I posed a question, who would be the stronger Jedi? And I was posing this not as it sits now. I was kind of assuming that they would both have equal training, maybe from similar masters or whatever.
Who would be the stronger
Who
Jedi?
would be,
Yeah.
because Leia had a lot of shit going on that, well, they both did, to be honest. And Luke started his training at, 2018 or what, not 2018, for 18 years old-ish.
2018 BBY.
A couple years ago, he just started his training.
It's 2 years in. He's doing great.
So I guess my question is, like, do you think they would be like equal opposites? Do you think Leia would be stronger in the Force and Luke would be like? Let's get into this.
That's really hard
What's your immediate thought though?
to say though, because you can't really change what their background is. You
Their
know what I mean?
background would exist. Let's say that they both started training under Obi-Wan. Let's set the setting, bruh. 18 years old, both of them, but they both grew up how we know. So
Yeah.
she was a princess, he was a farm boy. Who do you think in the end would have become a stronger Jedi? And as stronger is from a certain point of view too. So let's break this down. Let's start with lightsaber.
You have so much preface going on to this question.
I just want to set it up, and we'll go through like.
You want to
Force
discuss it in
powers.
like
Yeah.
different areas.
Yeah.
Like pretend they're in a video game.
Yeah. So
Who has better stats?
lightsaber wise, who do you think would be a better? Well,
There's
and I
really
wanna
no
pull-
way to know, because if they both start from scratch, and they both start at the same time, there's really no way to know. It's whichever one of them decides to be more of a savage.
And I'm just going to pull from everywhere that we can. I just want to use everything that we've seen on screen. Like in episode 9, we see Leia best Luke in that flashback training
Yeah.
with lightsaber. And that's assuming that he has had probably, 10 years of more training than her?
Well, he's the one training her.
And she's besting him.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't show you that, bitch. You can't do that. I can call my sister a bitch. Shut up.
Sorry, Luke. The Alderaan guard showed me a thing or two.
I kissed her first. She's my sister.
There's a deleted scene of them making out.
Is there
In Hoth, I saw it.
inside Hoth?
Like,
in that
they
cave?
kiss way more than that, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah, I would say, based on the evidence that we have, she's definitely more level-headed than Luke.
Well, so
She bests him in that flashback. I would say, yeah, if they were both together, and Han and Obi-Wan picked them both up, and then Obi-Wan and then eventually Yoda started training both of them at the same time, I feel like, yeah, Leia would have ended up being stronger.
Well, so let's pose this as like a versus, I guess. Somewhat similar training.
Well, we saw
And they're
them
going and they're going at
versus-
each other. Well, the
she
issue is the issue is with that flashback that he is training her. I think it was probably something along the lines of, I'm only going to do this. Let's see if she can get past it. And she does.
Right.
So it's not like they're fighting to the death. Because
I don't know. He pulls his visor up. He looks pretty stressed. Oh, God. A girl beat me.
who was born first? Leia?
Luke, I think. I'm trying to remember what she says first when she births them
I
on
thought it was Leia, then Luke.
Polis Massa.
Luke's going to buy those droids.
I think Luke's first. Yeah.
I personally think Luke would be better with a lightsaber. I think simply because he's a little more hands-on is what I'm getting to. He's a farm boy. You could tell he's done some like hunting in his life, bullseyeing womp rats, pest control. But you know,
You had to say it verbatim.
but
Bullseye and Womp Rats and his T-14 back home. He would be great at lightsabering.
No, bigger than a yard or a meter, what the fuck he says. Yeah, I just think that he might be, and he probably has a little physically stronger. I don't know. It depends on what form. I feel like she would also be a little more defensive, and he would be a little more aggressive.
I'm having trouble pitting them against each other because I think they are great. What's the word? They're not opposites, but they're great complements to each other. Like Leia is definitely more diplomatic. She can see like the bigger picture. She doesn't rush into battle like a fuckhead like Luke does. She thinks about things. She has a longer term plan. She has like Palpatine level planning wisdom going on. And Luke definitely likes to get shit done, and he's very compassionate and he likes to do the right thing.
So, from a certain point
so
of view,
like them fighting each other, I don't know. Like they both are like two halves of Vader.
So from a certain point of view, Luke's a little more Vader-ish. Anakin-ish. Run in and just fucking figure it out. Leia's a little more Palpatine, where she's going to plan ahead and make sure she doesn't fucking lose.
I thought you were going to say Padme, since that's her mom.
From a certain point of view.
It's like, with their actual DNA in consideration, yes, Palpatine and Anakin did not bang.
I mean, that is a very... I've never really
maybe they did.
thought about that. What do you even call that? Dichotomy?
Yeah.
Where it is like a straight...
That's the biggest word you've said on this show.
Anakin goes straight into Luke.
Yeah.
Padme... just the political and all the grand scheme of things.
Well, you see that sometimes, like if there's
the calmness.
If there's two siblings and two parents, and like the son acts exactly like the dad, and the daughter acts exactly like the mom.
Yeah, there's something in me that I feel
likely.
like I feel like Leia has the ability to do Anakin-like things. I feel like Luke does not have the ability to do Padme-like things. Luke, I feel like, is quite a bit more limited in his...
I think he gets there by the end of Last Jedi, obviously.
Last Jedi or Return of the Jedi? Because he's quite composed-ish. Well, he knows what he needs to do by the end of Episode 6, and he does it. He doesn't strike down... Whoa! He doesn't strike down Sidious. I know we brought that up, but that's such an awesome thing. Strike me down, you'll become more powerful than blah, blah, blah. It's like, because I'm going to fucking take you over.
I can't take over this crippled robot.
Yeah, what am I going to do?
Hey, what am I going to do? Hey, come on, hey.
Oh,
Dude,
man.
what if... I know we're going off topic. What if Luke struck down Palpatine? Palpatine and all the Sith possessed Luke's body, but they didn't kill Vader. Now is Luke training Vader? Because, like, I still need some, like, assassin to go murder people for me, but I don't want your body because you're a robot. But now that I'm all the Sith and Luke, I'm stronger than you, so I'm going to train you.
Yeah.
Fuck. What a mind fuck. I need a...
At one point, you were the father. Now I am the father.
Before you were the father, I was the father. Now you are the father.
No.
Now we are the father.
Could you imagine, like, Luke trying to punish his dad? You didn't... I told you, extra ketchup. It didn't show up with extra ketchup. What are we gonna do?
It's a whole new training regimen. This is what I had to do on the farm. Now that's what you have to do. We're from the same planet.
Yeah. I like my cheese from the whale tits on.
No. To
toe.
answer your question, I think Leia and Luke are basically equal because at certain things Leia would win and at certain things Luke would win. So
There you go.
There.
Shinobi says Palpatine and all the Sith in a body with Skywalker blood. Yeah, God status basically. Luke already basically hits God status. They both kind of hit God status. Palpy and Luke in a Legends form. Because they both
Wait
do
a
whatever the
second.
fuck they want.
Wait a second. This all makes no sense.
Uh-oh.
Giant plot hole. When Kylo shows up on Exegol, if Palpatine knows what is going to happen if somebody kills him in anger, he should have let Kylo just kill him.
And then he could have.
He would have been unstoppable. Son of Darkness with all of the Sith.
I know. And Skywalker blood. Like, there's so much right there. And he's been trained as a Jedi and trained by Snoke. Like,
I gotta say, it may not be the most elegant ending for a more civilized saga, but I like it a lot.
dude, the prequels.
But there's so many things that are just like, but really, but that isn't, but you couldn't, that isn't, but that's how I felt.
You know, the only reason we both of us enjoy the prequels so much is because we were so young. The way they covered up plot holes with just like characters was so weird when you look back at the prequels. Like Grievous. Why did they even put fucking Grievous in there?
Because he's a savage. I mean, I like the idea of Grievous, a droid general controlling the droid army. That sounds sweet.
Yeah.
They need a bad guy, like a throwaway bad guy.
Oh, Shinobi said Kylo had no anger towards Palpatine. I would argue against that.
So the ritual has to be based in anger.
I mean, he wanted to kill him.
I guess that does make sense.
He was flying there to kill him. I'm gonna happily kill you though.
Well, that said, once Rey was not pissed at him anymore, couldn't she have just killed him in happiness and not in anger?
As long as you kill
with her
people
lightsaber, just like slash him in happiness. He's
gotta
very
have-
happy there.
You gotta have the smile.
Did brush with that Colgate before you slice me down.
Scope it out, bro.
Seriously though, I feel like, yeah, Kylo was kind of mad when he was there.
He was there to kill him because it was a threat to. Kylo is in power from a certain point of view, and then he finds out, oh wait, there is this old evil power floating around. Well, fuck that! I'm going to kill him and
Right, he doesn't want any threats.
prove that I am the power.
I guess that he wasn't angry in doing that, but still, I feel like it kind of would fit the ritual, yeah? Don't you think? I don't know. I just feel like he prepped so much, the Sith cult prepped so much, and they literally created Snoke to train Kylo up to a certain point, and he was ready. He killed Snoke. He proved he was good to go. He took down he took control of the First Order. So if you come in and slice down Palpatine, and then all the Sith absorb into your body, I feel like that would be unstoppable. Then he would have gotten a Darth name. That would have been fucking sweet.
Darth Ren.
Darth Ren.
Lord Ren.
Lord Renlo.
Renlo. Oh, yeah, I just.
So
don't know.
Shinobi's leaning on that anger. Strike me down in anger. So it has to be
but
angry.
he's truly making all of that up.
yeah.
I don't believe him for a minute.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you're saying. I guess that just makes the thing like once Rey resolved her anger issues and was just like striking him down because he was evil and not because she was angry. She could have just done that with her lightsaber. She could have just been like, bap.
It's so wishy-washy.
Because he's like helpless. He's on a crane. Bap. Done.
Which is why Palpy seemingly gets off on feeling Luke's anger. Yeah, I can feel your anger.
Oh, yeah. He's all about it.
Grabbing my dick.
It's that right style of anger. Strike me down now. The Galaxy has no chance.
No chance at all.
That's what I think.
How did you feel about that boardroom crunch to the wall choke throw?
Great. Loved it. I did not like how dude said that it would increase their forces 10,000 fold.
Yeah.
It's like, how many things are on Exegol?
Do you seriously
You
only
already
have
have
like
so many. Snoke had the biggest ship in the existence of the galaxy. Like, that was the biggest ship that anyone's ever made.
Were they down to one ship?
No, I'm
10,000 fold.
I'm just saying
10,000
as,
ships over there.
just saying as an example. And they all have planet-killing weapons. Of course they do.
That is the biggest downfall to the movie. I will wholeheartedly admit. Like,
It's just them standing around and saying the plot out loud is the downfall of the movie.
No, the fact that they
do it like 3 times.
The fact that they do have planet-killing. So the other thing I have a question about is how does that one ship get away to blow up?
We already talked about this.
Zori's.
Because that's Pride goes to join the First Order from Exegol in that Star Destroyer. So he's the only one that's left the planet, and he knows how to get there and get back.
Okay.
That's why they switched the navigation to his ship once they.
Because he's already been out there.
Because he already knows where he's going. Yeah. Kind of silly, but it is what it is.
That's another,
Hey.
you know, I know they all have planet-killing weapons. We've seen it fucking happen before. A lot.
They just didn't need to do that.
They blew up so many fucking planets already. The Hosnian system was, what, 6, 7 planets? Alderaan's gone. Scarif, like, everything's been blown up. I know Scarif was just kind of a glazing, but did we seriously need to
Scarif
see...
and Jeddah.
Did we seriously need to see Pride's ship go out, blow up, and then come back?
I would have much preferred... I get the threat. I just think the planet-killing weapon is, like, unnecessary. It would have been cool to see, like, an orbital bombardment. Like
Some
they have,
terrorist
like
shit?
Yeah, like terrorists. Like there's just like 5 Star Destroyers and they're all just fucking slamming this planet with turbo lasers.
Well, we see that with what's his faces at the beginning of 8 with those boom boom, and he blows up the base that they're all getting away from right at the beginning.
Yeah, the Dreadnought. Yeah, there's more of those.
Jesus,
Give me
just
some more
do
Dreadnoughts.
more of those. What's wrong?
Yeah. What's the deal with planet-killing weapons?
Okay, here we did it. It's official.
Great sound design too. Those cannons. Fuck yeah.
There was a lot in that movie that I was like, wow. And the way they pushed the force powers and the sounds, like, and even in like episode 7, when he's trying to read the mind, you just hear, you're just like, what the fuck?
Just a rumble. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You don't really get that a lot.
I should sit down and watch Star Wars with my surround sound headphones on. I've never done that before. And I haven't had like a sound system for a very long time.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to hear.
I did, if Glass Armor goes to bed early and I'm up late, I'll put headphones on. And I watched, this is a crazy off branching. I watched Inception for the first time.
First time or like you rewatched it?
No, first time.
I saw it once, but I don't remember it. And I don't remember like having the same reactions everybody else had, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many layers to it, quite physically, that it's hard to keep
And
up.
mentally and spiritually.
Mentally, yeah. But it was the sound design of that movie. My point is like it.
Yeah.
It makes a difference. You put some shit on, you're like,
Yeah.
holy fuck,
Yeah, for sure.
it's coming from everywhere.
I'm excited for his new movie, by the way, Christopher Nolan. Tenet, that one. Where
Yeah.
it looks like they're going through time to like, he's seeing a crime scene before it actually happens and stuff. Looks pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you end up seeing Uncut Gems at all?
No, I haven't.
I haven't
seen
got to see it.
1917 yet. I know you saw that.
That was good.
I need to see that.
It was really good.
I
kinda need to
do
see it
like
again.
need to see 1917 in film.
Yeah.
Or in theater.
film. Yeah, you had
Need
to
to
see it in
watch it.
theaters. And if you can go to the Dolby one for $35, you should do that because it was really good.
Why are the Knights of Ren on Exegol?
Probably guarding the chamber. Somebody fucks with his ritual.
So we're assuming the Knights of Ren are Palpatines?
Let's look it up.
I thought that was weird because Rey shows up on Exegol, walks right fuck in, and then when Ben shows up 2 minutes later, there's all of a sudden armed guards that were his brothers.
Well, they were probably waiting for him back at the ship, and he showed up, and his scars healed, and they're like, bro, you look like a bitch. What are you doing? I don't know. Let's find out.
Get that scar tattoo removed. I don't like it.
There's 75 pages about the Knights of Ren and shit.
Welcome to Planet Killer Radio. Do you
The
feel
Knights
like
were gifted to Ben Solo by Snoke, who promised the fallen Jedi apprentice powerful followers if he proved worthy. That's all it says. Their background is being discussed in the comic book, but we don't know anything more than they're just like mysterious dark side users. That's all we really know.
Do you think they're like the Sith supporters, like they're an built Like it's almost like an armed guard for all the Sith supporters that are on Exegol. They're like, all right, well, we'll at least gift him these 5 dudes from our.
It seems like their origins were they were a little more independent. Like they were all Force sensitive
Like
and they were
commandos.
dark side, but they didn't have any formal training. So they were just savages and they were just trying to figure out the dark side like by themselves, and they were just fucking things up. I don't know how. The question is, how did Snoke gift them to Kylo Ren? Like, did he come in control of that?
You're 19.
Hey, here's your fucking shit. Hey.
Back in my day, we used to get laid, but here's just some 6 guys that are gonna follow you around.
I used to get birthday cards with money in them, but you get 6 savages to follow you around and not kill your enemies, just kidnap them and then let them escape.
Jesus, they are so useless.
I know, I know.
You know,
What if they were in Battlefront? That'd be cool.
it's almost a huge letdown. Like, I'm glad they were in it. Actually, did they add anything? Would it have been that much different if instead of the Knights of Ren capturing Chewie, it was just armed guards from the First Order? They would have really meant there would have been no difference. They're
Yeah, but
walking
then
around.
they wouldn't have had
it's-
that cool shot of them standing on top of the cliff.
Yeah. But it's like the fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where Leo has a sword, but he never slices anybody.
I know. He either has the sword knocked away from him, or he's just doing jujitsu.
He just uses the butt end of it to like poke people's eyes and then laugh about it and skate away.
Yeah, when he has a sword to slice pizza, come on.
That's true. Useless. I would have rather had them do that. Like,
Yeah, the Knights of Ren are just like Boba Fett, basically. I
they
bet they're
are-
going to end up doing some savage stuff in the comics. Savages. Yeah. Yeah, savage. Sorry.
Yeah, I am very happy with episode 9. I'm happy with the sequels, but there's quite a few points that if you wanted to, which people have been, you could tear it apart quite easily.
Yeah, but you can do it with every Star Wars movie.
What if Chewie had a K2SO/Groot death? K2SO goes out saving
Oh, yeah.
them, and Groot,
Well, that's
Groot
kind
does
of
the
what
same thing.
Well, he didn't go out saving them, but that's kind of what they tease, is that he was captured and he was going to be out of the picture because of the First Order. Joey!
I would have been completely fine. I would have been completely fine with somehow Chewie did die, even if it was at Rey's hand doing that shit. But it was so sudden that I'm glad they didn't do it that way.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, I'm okay with them killing him. I'm even okay with Rey killing him by accident, doing some crazy shit. But the timing, I guess...
It was too quick in the movie.
Yeah, it was too quick in the movie, so...
I'm glad he didn't die. It would have been nice to see a few more casualties. It was just Leia and Ben, right?
In the entire movie?
As far as the good side goes, right?
Yeah, Palpy...
Good side.
Yeah. From a certain point of view, he's great.
Palpy. Palpy, Vader, Masameta.
How many people actually do... Well, we see a lot of people die in the starships.
Yeah, a lot of like just resistance people that we don't really know. But I'm just saying, like, Finn, Poe, and Rey have to survive. They're the main 3. I get that. Chewie, I'm glad he's alive because I love Chewie, but it would have made the ending a little more heroic if there was like another sacrifice along the way. Somebody like Chewie or Maz Kanata or something like that. I don't know.
What if...
Or one of the droids.
What if...
Like if R2 had gone out.
What if like Lando and Chewie were on the Falcon, and I know this doesn't make sense plot wise, but they were trying to get away. Rey and the group, the Fab Five or whatever the fuck they're called, make a decision. Lando and Chewie are gonna go over there, recruit people. As they're taking off, Kylo reaches out and holds the fucking Falcon, and Rey's trying to push it away, and in doing that, she kills the fucking Falcon with Chewie and Lando.
That would have been cool.
Fuck!
That would be cool. The fact that she held a ship and then they played tug of war and then she accidentally shocked it and blew it up was fucking crazy.
It is, that's a nice,
That's a fucking video game scene or a comic book scene. I never thought we'd see that on the movie.
it was a nice like surprise that wasn't, it didn't feel forced, because it's the Force. But, I don't know. like some things, it feels like there's some shock value, and that's the only reason they're doing it. Like to kill Snoke. Sometimes it was just like, and kills this. You're like, okay. I don't know. I feel like that's different than Rey
I
accidentally.
disagree with it. I would say it's more likely that the other way around. Rey shocking that ship and blowing it apart was more shock value than Snoke.
Spark.
Get it?
Spark.
Spark value.
Spark value. Spark, yeah, it's the value supreme.
Forced spark value.
Yeah. I don't know.
Star Wars, man. That is what it is.
Yeah, Kylo and Rey.
What? A dyad in the Force. Unseen for generations.
That is unique. I'm glad they did that.
Me too. It's really fucking cool. That's probably I think if I had to pick one thread or character or like plot or something out of the entire sequel trilogy that is the most badass, I think it's that. The fact that they have a Force bond. And the fact that it's that in-depth.
That intense.
That they can hand things to each other through the Force. It's really cool. Really cool concept.
God, that's crazy. I mean, they took the KOTOR thing and just fucking doubled their efforts. They did, though. Like, passing shit through the Force is...
They quadrupled their efforts.
It's crazy.
That would also make sense if the next movie trilogy they decide to do is Old Republic. That the fact that they introduced the dyad, or like the idea of a dyad, and then went back and did that with Bastila and Revan. Because general population that doesn't follow Star Wars probably has no idea about KOTOR, or the fact that there was a bond or any of that stuff happened. So it'd be nice to see that on screen, and they've kind of prepped at least the relationship or the Force power in the movie already. They've done it.
So Shinobi says the Jedi had their chosen one prophecy, and the Sith had theirs. Both misinterpreted it as well. Very cool and very poetic.
It's like poetry. It's like they rhyme.
Well, their chosen ones were both Vader, and they both fucked up.
What?
Anakin was the chosen one for the Jedi.
Yes.
And from a certain point of view, he was the chosen one for the Sith, too. He killed all the fucking Jedi.
Yeah, it's true.
Sidious can be all powerful and all fucking knowing, but he didn't do a goddamn thing, did he? He potentially killed Mace. We don't even know that he officially died.
Palpatine did a bunch of shit.
He did kill Kit and...
He did so many things.
Name him.
He took down the entire Jedi Order.
Yeah, but he didn't. Vader did.
Dude, please do not lessen what Palpatine did.
He didn't really do much.
He rose from Naboo to being the Supreme Chancellor, and then he
but
turned
he
the
was
Republic.
voted on by a fucking rabbit. He got in power because of a Gungan.
Hello, Felagits.
Hello, hooligans.
He flipped the Republic into an empire that he controlled exclusively.
I get it. He just didn't raise his lightsaber, but
Just
once.
because he didn't kill that many people. I think it's even more savage that he didn't kill it. I don't like seeing him fight in Clone Wars, if I'm going to be honest.
Oh, I love it.
Some of those fights are cool, but it's like the Yoda thing. It's like Palpatine almost has more mystique without having a lightsaber whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like that in Battlefront, he doesn't have a lightsaber. It's just Force lightning. I think it's fucking sweet.
Oh, the prophecy of the Dyad. 2 or 1 in the Force, which is closely tied to Bane's role of 2. Yeah.
Powerful light, powerful dark.
Light side and dark side creates balance in the Force.
Yeah, but all the dark side's gone.
Man, every time. I don't think there's ever going to be a viewing of Episode 9 that I don't get goosebumps. When Sidious looks up to the sky and does that little cocked fucking smile, and then, oh, you're like, oh, I can feel it in my loins.
Yeah, it's fucking sweet.
It's scary, man.
So would you say Rey is balance? Because she has dark side lineage, but she's a good person on the light side? Is that what balance is?
No. She's good.
Yeah,
I
that's what I think too.
I think they prove that bloodline doesn't mean shit.
Well, regardless of the bloodline, I'm just saying some semblance of balance between light and dark.
I think Ben and her are balanced. I don't think Rey herself is balanced.
Right, but now that Ben's dead, the Force is out of balance, wouldn't you say? So the saga's just going to keep going forever? That's what I was looking for. Like, regardless of how they, brought Palpatine back and had the fleet and all that shit, at the end of the day, like, there has to be some plausibility for the story to not have to continue.
Well, I mean, we see Broom Kid Like he pulls this shit, and he's like, "Well,
I'm not
no,
talking about force
think
users.
about it. Well, it's good and bad people, whether they have force sensitivity or not. They should have ended with someone like waking up in the middle of the night and jamming their toe and then Sith eyes, stubbing their toe on a goddamn dresser.
What I'm trying to get at is once Rey, figures all this shit out and crafts a new lightsaber and decides that she's Rey Skywalker, like, the story just isn't over. She's not just going to chill. There's still darkness out there. So stuff is never in balance. So, like, it's never going to truly, truly end.
You know what's nice?
Which I guess is the point, because they can just keep making movies.
You know what's really, really nice? That it is, at the end of episode 9, it is truly a hard reset. There are no more Jedi. You can argue that Rey really is hardly a Jedi.
No, I know. And I like
And
that.
the Sith are truly...
Even though she says she's all the Jedi.
Yeah. But the Sith are truly gone.
So Rey is all the Jedi, and all the Sith are gone. So it's totally out of balance.
It's a monopoly. Monopoly on the Force.
That's the thing. Like, and I love, it's Star Wars. It's a movie. It's got to have a happy ending. It's got to be, good guys. But at the end of the day, I'm kind of like, you spent 6 movies talking about balance, and then you spent 3 removing the balance, and now it's just Rey and her yellow lightsaber.
Isn't it funny that everybody strives for balance when that's basically impossible? From any point of view.
Like from a Jedi's impossible.
Name one time that from everybody's point of view, there's balance.
There hasn't been in the saga. I'm not saying that's impossible, though.
I would truly say it's impossible.
We haven't seen it happen.
It's truly impossible.
I would say just general-ass people going about their every day, and some people are pissed off, and they're pirates or whatever, and then people have to stop them, and then things go back to balance.
So no force sensitives.
I think it's just when... Well, there could be force sensitives.
Then there's not balance.
It's just Sith building power for 1,000 years and taking over the galaxy is totally out of balance.
So every time someone gets punched in the head, an angel gets wings. There's balance.
From a certain point of view. If that's the way you want to look at it.
I'm just saying, like, that's where you're trying to get to true balance, is that there are pissed off people, but there are the exact amount of good people doing good things at the same time.
Yes.
But that's impossible.
Right.
So
hence they can always make Star Wars movies forever.
Yeah.
Right. That's the point. That's the point. Yeah.
There's no more Skywalkers. Balance is restored.
Well, same thing's going to happen in Marvel. Like, Thanos is gone. That threat's gone, but it's not like everything's just happy forever. There's going to be new threats. So it's never going to end.
Yeah, well, the core of Star Wars is human emotion. There's always going to be pissed off people. There's always going to be jealousy and core human emotions. So it's impossible to have balance. Yeah, it's just, like you said, forever Star Wars. Just put lightsabers in people's hands and they'll figure it out.
Also, creating an entire religious code that forces you to ignore all of those emotions is probably the easiest way to get out of balance. So not restoring the Jedi Order is a good thing. All I was going for in that conversation was to say, like, all the balancing that they talked about in the first 8 movies, they didn't leave us in balance. The dyad, which was dark and light, first went all light side, and now is half gone. It's dead. Ben's gone.
Well,
and all the Sith are gone, so we're totally light side skewed.
Well, we went totally light side, episode 1. So there's a Sith now. Now there's a couple Sith. Now all the Jedi die. Now it's all Sith.
Dark side.
Now all the Sith are gone.
Now the good guys won, but it's not quite perfect.
It's just been a complete circle of...
That's what I mean. We can just do another 9 movies.
But Solo...
That's why I like Solo so much.
Wouldn't it be fun to see a young Luke series on
It'd be iffy, but the fact that they did Solo so well, yeah, I would say yes.
It would be fun. And it would be also really cool for him to like start noticing that he's a little special, like, but keeping it to himself because he doesn't know how else to. Or maybe
you're talking him pre A New Hope. I thought you meant like in between Jedi and Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I guess that's not young Luke. That's what I thought you
meant. Travis Dunn says Rey's ability to use both sides of the Force shows that she was one to bring balance to the Force. I guess, yes, she uses Force lightning, but I don't know. It's a good...
The fact that she
thought-
knows 5 light side powers and 5 dark side powers, I don't think that's balance, you know?
In a video game, it would be.
If only Star Wars was a video game.
Wasn't that one? Empire Strikes
None of them are good.
Back? None of them. Truly none of them.
Um,
We could forever sit here and argue balance, force, bad people, good people
oh, that's
from
why
a certain point of
that's
view.
why it's the best saga ever. We were supposed to get an announcement of the next movie and director in January, but that didn't happen. At least not that I know of. So I guess we'll have to save that for the next episode.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no longer a Star Wars fan, so.
I plan on personally downloading the Battlefront update and screwing around with that. So hopefully we can discuss that by the next episode. Hope that news gets released. And then we're leading towards the Clone Wars, which is
Next
go
month.
ahead and look.
Or this month.
No, it's this month, but Clone Wars season 7.
Oh, did you also notice that Rey tells Finn that she's had a vision of the Sith throne, and on the throne, she says, and you know who was on the throne? And he says, Ren
And me.
and me.
Yeah, it's both of them. That was in the concept art. It looked fucking badass.
So what are we suggesting?
They're the perfect balance. That's what I mean. They're the dyad. They're dark and light. At least that's what I thought. February 17th, by the way, for Clone Wars Season 7.
Couple weeks.
And I'm assuming, I haven't looked, but I'm assuming they're going to do it 1 episode per week like they did with Mando.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I have my reservations. It's a cartoon. Sorry. Some more symmetry, poetry, rhymes. So after Rey heals the snake, it goes away, doesn't eat him. She talks to BB-8 and says, I transferred a little bit of life force from myself to the thing, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The very next scene, they go on to that Jedi killers with the thing, and BB-8 himself plugs in and transfers a bit of life force battery into Dio.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Nice. That's
God
awesome. I
damn
never caught
it!
that.
It's so slight.
This is...
Like, he just learned this power from her. And he's
Right.
like, oh, this is what Rey did. Boop. Now you're here.
Yeah, I love BB-8. Yeah, there's so much good. I got to just... whatever. I'm not going to not complain about it, because after I watch a movie 47 times, there's going to be things that I'm annoyed about. But just have to remember, there's so much good stuff like that you just... There's more to pick up on every time you see it.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite things was on Kijimi, which, goddamn, why did they blow it up? But the Poe and Zori
Bliss, yes.
Conversations on Kijimi, I felt were some of the most dire and heavy conversations, because they're actively watching a raid at night, watching people die, like hiding.
Those new walkers are
having
fucking sweet too.
Yeah, having conversations about how to get out and
Yeah.
like, this is not working. We need to leave. Like, come with me. This is fucked. It feels like that's what the original trilogy didn't hit for me. That there was, it gets back to the happy dancing. I finally felt
They
like,
just start by being good guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right. And it is nice that we have a stormtrooper, a scavenger, and a fucking spice runner, and not just Han felt like the only one that had like slightly,
Yeah.
iffy history, but you could tell that he was jaded. He wasn't a bad person. He was just jaded by society, and
Right.
He started on a shit situation, made the best of it.
Yeah. But also meeting Leia makes him remember Enfys Nest and the whole situation that happened with like the very start of the rebellion in Solo, which we now know is what he experienced.
Wait, say that again.
Like, he knows about the rebellion.
Yeah, because he
with
was a
the
part of it.
coaxium
Like the
and
very
Enfys Nest. He didn't mean to be a part of it.
yeah.
And he keeps thinking that he has to be a bad guy because he came from Corellia. But then when he meets Leia and they talk about the rebellion and he gets caught up in all that, he's just kind of circling back on what started in Solo.
Well, I think Han is kind of the representation of what everybody's ideals are of the rebellion and the Jedi, or of a grand scheme of things. Like, what I do doesn't matter, but Princess Leia actually says, no, what you do makes a difference, and this is how it makes a difference. That coaxium that you did in your Solo movie, yeah, it makes a huge difference, and it all adds up.
Yeah.
So it's nice, but getting back to Kijimi,
I think it's also, sorry to cut you off, I think it's also just storytelling methods. Like back in the 70s, it was very much good guys, bad guys. There you go. It's a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now lines are getting way more blurred. Like you watch something like The Joker.
Yeah.
The lines are way more blurred and there's more nuance, and they're able to do that now. I think it's just 2019's version of good guys and bad guys.
Well, so like,
which is
episode
good because it's
4
more true.
Like episode 4, the only reason the Empire is like at Tatooine is because the droids land on Tatooine. I feel like they're so far out that there's no reason for Luke to even hate the Empire. In fact, he was gonna fucking join them, going to the academy next year.
Right.
Like, he doesn't know any better until he gets thrown into it, and that's kind of the mindset of everybody.
Well,
like,
then his aunt and uncle get burnt to a crisp, yeah.
People way the fuck over there are fighting over stupid shit. All I know is moisture, bitch, and womp rats. That's all I know. I'm not affected by Darth Vader or any of it. Like, I hear stories, but on a day-to-day basis, nothing changes in my life. And which is weird because he's going to join the academy. 20 minutes later, I hate the Empire, you know it. And he's telling Obi-Wan, you're like, wait a fucking hold on a minute.
Right.
Parsecs, fuck.
And then he just goes through and joins them and gets in the X-Wing and blows up the Death Star. Like, there's no moment where Luke gets to explain how he's feeling. Like, obviously he's mad that Obi-Wan died. But, like, there's no conversation of, like, they killed my aunt and uncle and then they killed Obi-Wan. I'm going to go fuck them up. Like, they deserve it. Like, I want to get my revenge. Yeah. He doesn't have that moment. It's just kind of like, well, the plot, now he just goes to the X-Wing. That's part of the script.
Yeah.
That's what I'm missing. You know?
I'm not going to hold anything against the original trilogy. I mean,
I hate it.
40 some years ago now. But, yeah, things evolve, man.
Oh, it's 40th anniversary of Empire this year. Wonder if we'll get anything special.
No, we won't.
Maybe.
Deleted scenes? The tongue kiss in the ice cave between Luke and Leia.
I swear I saw somebody share that on Twitter. They're like fucking making out.
Jesus.
Could be wrong. Celebration?
Celebration, what is it, in August?
Yep. In Anaheim.
We got a ways of... I better like start looking at flights and shit. I'm not driving.
To Anaheim? No, thank you. I wasn't planning on it.
Yeah, we should probably look at flights here pretty soon. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I really truly feel like it's just been a send-off. We're floating away on the ship in the Star Wars, the Skywalker saga. I don't know where we're going, but we're just kind of sent off. Kind of Arya, you just board her ship, and there we go. And
we're going to get into the unknown regions, and we're going to discover that there's an entire other fucking galaxy.
That would be nice to just... There's another galaxy. Find a Mass Effect relay.
Fuck yeah.
Shepard. That's... We get a radio signal and just... Shepard. What?
Shepard by the Alliance.
Could you imagine?
That'd be so cool.
Just...
Crossover.
Yeah.
They use the Force too. It's just called biotics.
See, that's the cool shit, man. It really is.
He's got so
like from
a
certain point of view, we have wizards here. The only way they know how to control the Force is the way they do. They close their eyes and they think real hard. Over here, we have
to gesture with their hands.
We have tech that goes on your arm that controls it yourself and amplifies it.
Right.
And you can do different stuff with it. You don't even have to be that strong because it amplifies it.
Amplifies.
Just saying.
Sound like that Red Eyes commercial. What? Amplifies. Sorry, I'm making stuff up now. I would support a crossover.
You know how pissed everybody would be?
Everyone's pissed all the time anyways. Just do what the fuck you want, Disney.
There is no true balance.
Everyone is mad. Actually, there is. 50% of people are mad. It's pretty balanced. No, I think, honestly, I'm just kind of just getting sick of being in fandoms in general. Everyone's so angry.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, just do whatever you want.
Another cool rhyme between the movies that I noticed is the
How long is this list? Yeah.
The idea of it's forever, infinite list. In episode 6, remember the Ewoks? Remember the Ewoks?
I do, the furry ones.
The fact that mechanical warfare still has its large advantages against their lasers is so cool.
Mechanical warfare?
Talk just like speeders and lightsabers and blasters when they get on the fucking horses and Pride goes, just shut the speeders down, and it's like,
Oh,
we
yeah.
fucking can't because they're not on them.
You started talking about Ewoks. I don't know what the fuck you were talking
Well,
about.
I'm just saying, like, I don't even know how else to say it. Mechanical warfare. Like, it's sticks and shit and horses.
It's not mechanical in any way.
Well, yeah.
Horse warfare.
Horse warfare.
Is what you're going for.
Warfare. The horfair.
Thoroughbred.
I'm just picturing a fair, like a fairground of horse. A horfair.
About to go to battle.
But everything's assless chaps. I got it. I've been there before.
Yep, I was there.
Yeah. County fair. Yeah, it's cool.
I do like, yeah, I know what you mean.
And it's the smallest integration because this is a large, tech-oriented galaxy.
And the fact that they're having a horse stampede on the on top of a Star Destroyer is fucking sweet.
That's also very cringy, I'm not gonna lie. But
Really?
I love that they did it because of the rhyme. But I was like, ooh, why don't you just fucking go like that?
What?
Just flip the ship upside down.
I have a question about this. Ships have their own gravity, right? Now, is that when they're if you're inside a ship and the ship flips around, you don't like fall over the fucking ship, right? You're just planted. You're sitting down, right?
Normal, yeah, gravity. I would assume like the gravity well would be at the bottom of the ship, so everybody's pulled towards that point. So even if you're upside down, you're still pulled towards that center of gravity.
That's what I assumed. But then some shots, when the Falcon like just flips and turns, everybody's like, "Oh boy!" So like, is it different if you're in space or if you're in atmosphere?
Maybe the Falcon doesn't have a gravity thing.
No, I think it does.
Because they all have fucking...
Dude, Han is fucking with a hydro spanner working on the engine as the Falcon is doing the fucking craziest maneuvers you've ever seen. And he's just like tinkering away.
Well, you would think you're just floating.
In space.
Without any type of gravity, you wouldn't like be pulled any which way. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the answer. I've never been to
Probably
space.
shouldn't overthink it. It's space fantasy. What I was going to say is the Star Destroyer can't do that because it's in atmosphere, so the gravity well doesn't work. In my head, I was thinking that the gravity well only works when you're in space. So if you're in the atmosphere, you're using the atmosphere of the planet that you're in.
Flip over and it'll fall towards the atmosphere.
Well, then everybody on the ship would fucking fall over.
They do all fall because when Balby does his lightning, they all fucking fall.
But they wouldn't purposely flip the ship 180 degrees. Everyone in the ship and all the fucking speeders
yeah, but you
and
would
everything.
just fall to the ceiling. You would just fall to the closest ceiling.
I'm not having conversations about this
The
anymore.
droids are flying it.
No physics in Star Wars.
No.
It's not a real thing.
Shinobi said I zoned out for about 5 minutes. All I heard was Ewoks and assless chaps.
That's basically all we talked about the whole episode, so you haven't missed anything.
What kind of giblets do
I need to
Ewoks?
eat. I need
Okay.
to eat before we talk about assless
Good
chaps.
Day Galaxy, Rogue One Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you. Good to be back.
On
camera.
I'm working on trying to get some more guests on. I like when we have other people to bounce shit off of, different points of view.
I do, but it's really hard to have guests when they're not in person.
True. Fuck them.
It's tough. I'm not saying fuck them. I'm just saying it's difficult. So we got to be particular.
Particular sense. That's it. I'm Mopar. Droids. Battlefront time. It's loaded up.
Well, it's only 5 where you are, bro. I got to go to sleep.
We gotta eat.
I'm seriously, I haven't eaten. I would love to. I'm going to fire it up just to update it. So if I get the itch to play, maybe we'll see. You might see me online. I don't know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the rest of you can
What are you playing?
catch us next. Skyrim and Battlefront.
Skyrim Battlefront.
That's all I've been playing for like 3 years.
It's true.
Bye.
We did the Fallen Order for a half a week.